All right, guys. Welcome to the first episode of this new podcast.
Fuck it.
Hi, Papi.
Right. Welcome to a new episode of the Papi Podcast. My
Hi,
name's Arturo.
Jonathan. Chris.
Andres.
Jacob.
And Ricky.
Right. So we're all here trying to start this podcast, first episode.
Trying to make
And
money.
the reason to do it was just sort of to see what happens, see where it goes.
Just wanted to make money.
And a question off of that, to make money. A question off of that is just...
Fuck it, really.
Question off of that is just to see sort of how the difference in sort of the different media, take the... Shit. Fuck.
It's like, how different media is evolving nowadays.
So basically, and how it's
We used to start
society.
off, we used to start off with your typical media, which this chair is going to be horrible for this podcast.
Sit on the floor.
No,
Or
Just don't rock back and forth?
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Does it bring back memories?
It brings back memories. It brings back several memories. Anyways, we're going to gloss over that. But it's pretty much exploring the different ways that the new media has been. I mean, we've all seen podcasts. And we've all seen like the evolution of them.
Do you see podcasts?
You see and you listen to podcasts.
Hey, no, Andres is talking out his ass right now.
It's like, bro, does your butthole hurt?
Bro, you need an ass to talk out of your ass. So I don't know. I'm talking through my bag.
For the record, Arturo asked me if I wanted to be a part of a podcast, and I had to Google what podcast was.
You didn't know what it was?
So how many of y'all knew what an actual podcast was? How many of y'all listened to podcasts?
I've listened to one on the way to Florida for 21 hours straight.
21. They talked for 21 hours.
No, I mean not
It's
just
just
like
like
one individual.
I was about to say, I was like,
But it was like
on podcast.
podcast.
Hey, dude, they don't get tired. Damn.
Also, for the record, I lied about Googling podcasts.
I didn't think you would have Googled.
It's like you're on.
I came up with this whole idea.
I take credit for it. I take the money.
You're part of the. You're part of the problem.
If you're reading this.
If you're reading this, hot puppy.
Hold on. What's our topic? What are we talking about?
Right, so the topic is how, like, these new forms of media, you have people that have YouTube as their full-time jobs now, you have people that are on social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, and now they're selling their own merchandise, they have their own personal business, they literally are their own boss, through these different social media platforms, and that is affecting, traditional trade jobs in a certain way. It's taking people away from, like for an example, instead of a guy having a mechanic shop, now this guy just has like his own little garage and he just makes tutorial videos on YouTube doing that, and then that's how he makes his money. He doesn't necessarily have to do traditional jobs. So just want to ask you guys how you think that's going to evolve, or even like do you think there's going to be like studies in universities done on like the changing of the culture of just job culture in general?
Are we gonna like go in a circle?
Y'all can talk whenever.
Well, I mean, just
So I was high. And, no.
Well, I mean, I think it's definitely gonna stay. Social media is like ever evolving, and I know business is taking full advantage of it. Cause they're like just using social media, YouTube. So much advertisement.
How many of us still watch TV? I'd only watch it for sports.
I watched Jane the Virgin.
Interesting. Nice.
So Netflix.
But on
Netflix.
I don't even have.
No, I
That's a
did catch up, but now I'm watching it
Okay.
every Monday.
Out of the 6 of us, how many have TVs in their room?
Yeah,
I have a TV in my room.
Okay, how many people have
That's
TVs in
one.
the room?
Can they see our raised hands?
Jacob has one.
I have one as well, so that's 2.
Andres has one. Okay.
The only reason I have a TV in my room is because I have a little brother.
to watch Jane the Virgin. He just doesn't want to admit it.
What is that?
So that's 3.
I haven't owned a TV in like 6 years, maybe plus. So.
But you have a TV.
No, it's not.
Okay, so I think this would be the better question. How many of you guys have cable on that TV?
Oh, I don't have cable. Guess cable.
Cable or like some sort of dish, satellite, whatever it is.
Google Chrome's a thing now.
I got this.
Right, that's
Fire
what I'm
stick
saying.
now.
Like it's the
Now
new thing.
No.
Even cable's phasing out a little.
Did y'all
bit.
hear about the YouTube TV thing?
Yeah, because
YouTube
Netflix.
No,
Netflix
YouTube
is like
TV.
what, $5 a month.
What are they trying to do? Like an actual? Because I know YouTube's switching to like a paid thing now.
I have it.
And
Where-
you get like all these shows,
For what?
and
Netflix?
like Netflix.
Yeah.
Like how like cable and dish are really kind of phasing out. Because I mean, you got
Yeah.
Netflix, you got Hulu Plus, and all this stuff where
Yeah.
you get like all these shows,
Yeah.
seasons and stuff.
See,
like,
that's the thing with YouTube TV.
for like
it's
a
like
third of the whatever the price.
So YouTube TV is like the same sort of thing. Like it's its own subscriber base, right? You pay per month. You can share it among friends. I think 3 friends.
Mhm.
And what it does is it provides you with like your traditional channels, NBC, ABC, stuff like that. But now instead of watching it and like paying your cable provider, your dish provider, you just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's just a different you have your subscription tab. All that kind of stuff, like what to watch, the new stuff that's coming out. You can just pick like YouTube TV, and it goes to that, and like you can just watch your shows that are coming out on those channels.
Oh shit! I didn't.
So
Yeah, you can do that.
That's a thing.
No,
Is
yeah,
AMC
see-
on there?
I have no idea.
Who knows? See, you're talking about this about new mainstream media. Now, like think about it in this way in the movie making aspect. Now you got YouTubers who are making films,
Right.
and they're getting millions of hits, and they're probably getting.
I mean, they're probably gonna,
Maybe it's not maybe as much as maybe per se like Star Wars, right?
Right.
But they're still getting like millions of views, and that's like something that's completely
and
different.
not only that, dude. Like a lot of these YouTubers are like getting picked up by these like big like movie companies.
There's a
and
couple
stuff.
YouTubers that have gone from YouTube to their own Netflix shows,
Exactly.
so they're getting
So-
picked up.
Name one.
Miranda sings.
Miranda sings.
Okay, that's all I asked for.
Alright.
I felt like more were coming. I only asked for one.
It's
You did good. You did good.
like you answered my question. I said name one.
You know what? You kind of mentioned that like the social media aspect of income would take the place of like an actual job. Not to say the social media job isn't. I mean, if it makes money, it's a job, right?
Right.
But like you said, the guy who's doing tutorials on mechanic stuff might not have to actually do mechanic stuff anymore. I don't think it's moving in that direction. I think it's moving more in the direction of like before people threw advertisements up on TV and on radio and newspaper. And I think social media is now the platform you want to go through to advertise.
Well, because
I don't think it'll replace actual jobs. I think it'll be their direct connect to the consumer.
Okay.
So I think most mechanics will still be like most mechanics, if they were to take advantage of it, would do tutorials and then say, hey, if you need help, come by the shop, and they'll use it as like a supplemental
Okay.
sort
Sort of like a
of
side hustle.
customer.
It's like
I mean,
an-
YouTube makes most of its money in ads.
Yeah. Almost all of them like that.
But the mechanic's using that to get more his notoriety out there, his name out there, and he's gonna like come to me, and that's gonna like help his like.
Yeah.
But I actually think that's probably like adding to his income besides
Yeah.
of a mechanic because he needs more cars
It'll
to
add
come
to
in.
it, not
So that-
replace it though.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
won't replace it. It'll add to it.
Well, because
Okay.
I mean, if you look at most of this like consumer stuff. So let's say like there's a ton of like, let's say makeup artists. It's like blowing up. A lot of these makeup products are using these makeup artists just because they have like all these viewers, all these followers.
And I don't think
and
most
they're
of them were makeup artists outside of YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
So for people who made a living first through YouTube and only through YouTube, right? That is their only source of income. It
Right.
always has and it always will be, I guess, for people like that. But for people like the mechanic who already have
Who already was a
an
mechanic
occupation,
before,
a career,
Right.
YouTube won't replace that for those people. I don't think it'll just supplement that.
Yeah, because that's true. Because I was telling him earlier that I used to watch YouTube back when it started, like in 06.
How long ago was that?
It's like 11 years ago.
I remember my brother told me he was watching videos. I was like, how are you watching all these videos? Like, where do they have these videos at? He was like, YouTube.com. And so I went and I thought he said U2.com. And so I put U2.com and it was that rock band. And I was like,
What is
where
this?
do they have like
videos at?
rock videos on here?
Yeah, and that's the thing I was telling him is like not a lot of people watched YouTube or knew about YouTube, and then it wasn't until most people started monetizing on those videos, like especially it started off really with the makeup artists, because I know like for example Michelle Phan like started doing music, doing makeup, but she still had her own job, and then she just kept going with it. And then it wasn't until they started doing advertising, because they're using my product. Why am I not, monetizing on this? And then they contact them, and then they start doing like, well, I'm using so and so by this person, and then they just keep going.
Yeah, because like now you see a lot of them like use the product and like, oh, here, use this discount code and like stuff like that. So it's basically, I feel like it's not gonna replace them. It's just a real good medium to like advertise.
Yeah.
And like I feel like YouTube and stuff like that, it's becoming its own job because there's people out there that are like not even pursuing careers, not even pursuing that. They're just focusing on YouTube. Because I know like what's that dude's name? Like PewDiePie, the guy that makes
PewDiePie?
Yeah, like that guy makes so much money just
Playing
off
video
YouTube,
games, dude.
playing video games.
That's crazy.
Never
And
heard
I'm
of
like,
It's like he's the guy on YouTube with the most subscribers.
yeah, and I'm like, what the hell? Like,
10-year-olds, probably.
Norwegian. I mean, that's
Well, I mean,
what it is.
but
he makes millions.
The
dude.
most
Yeah.
popular
It's insane.
videos aren't the videos that we would think either. They're the videos of kids open up, like not kids even, adults open up toys for kids
Yeah.
on YouTube. Because these kids
Yeah.
just watch it constantly, it racks up views.
Yeah, dude. Because
So
I mean,
it's not, anything
like-
that we've thought of.
like, what are like your little brothers, little sisters? What are they doing most of the time? They're
What am I
on,
doing?
like, they're on YouTube. They're watching videos. So
You're
I
being
mean,
rude.
so, so like
Oh, guys, he's on
most-
his phone.
like most of these people, like they know what the audience is. Like who's on YouTube mostly? Little kids. So it's
Little
basically
kids like Andres.
on
YouTube
right now.
Bro, I gotta what's the new Hasbro item out? Gotta get it.
He's not looking
Does
at
YouTube have a competitor, like direct?
Not anymore.
No,
Vimeo?
they're
used
not
to
a
be-
competitor. They're in the same
I
market.
feel like
Yeah, they're in the same market, but they're not a
Not a
competitor.
competitor.
YouTube-
this thing.
YouTube has
YouTube
completely
is
monopolized
crazy.
it.
You know
It
what?
used to be like other areas where you could go to watch video, but I
I
feel like they
think-
just got completely left
I
out.
think Instagram's gonna steal a lot of YouTube's following.
No, I feel like
because
Facebook.
it used to be like
No,
what it
not
used to be
Facebook.
like 10-second videos were the max. Now you can do 1-minute videos on Instagram.
Yeah, but you can do your whole video on Facebook. So you have some channels that are on YouTube and they do certain numbers on YouTube, but then they put the same video on Facebook, and because Facebook has just such a bigger
Facebook's another big player.
'cause
That
Facebook
would be
has
more
such a
of a
big following.
competitor than Vimeo.
Yeah.
Facebook would be.
Definitely.
Facebook's gonna go into like music streaming too.
Well,
They're
and they
gonna
just
be-
added a new feature like the Facebook Live, like where you
The-
can just go
The
live.
live
Yeah.
and the story, Facebook story,
Mhm.
which
I don't see
YouTube
anybody
still
that
hasn't
uses
hopped
that.
on the story.
I've yet to see more than like 2 people use that, and they're not even consistent with it. Like,
The Facebook story? Have you seen
Oh,
that?
they mostly use Instagrams.
I feel like
Instagram stories.
Insta-
Yeah.
And you know what? Instagram
That
stories are
went
getting
past
more.
Snapchat.
Yeah, they're getting above Snapchat. I think.
Yep.
'Cause you can actually tag people.
Yeah.
You can't tag people on Snapchat.
Oh yeah,
You have to just type in their at and hope somebody goes and types in that app just the same way you typed it. On Instagram, you actually tag it.
Yeah.
And then for
Yeah,
for big users, they can put features on there like swipe up, and you can swipe up and it'll take you to a certain
I
link.
saw that.
Yeah. So you have artists now that have the songs that came out, like a new album, like Logic's coming out with a new album.
Swipe up.
And so he's like, swipe up,
To
watch
the
my new
list,
music
yeah.
video that I just released yesterday.
Right here,
And
it's a free download. Swipe up. And,
Yeah.
That's something Snapchat doesn't have.
Jacob's like, I'm gonna hop on that real quick.
Instagram,
Because
now
they
they
like getting real
have
big.
I'm verified now. I'm gonna hop on that.
multiple photos.
Instagram has
Yeah,
multiple
the
photos.
yeah,
slides
Instagram
just
does
to
have
the
multiple
sides.
photos.
Yeah.
You do the product placement, but then you put your other photos.
But I mean,
on.
I think Facebook is still a bigger medium though. To be
It's
honest.
not so much with the younger crowd though.
The user base is larger on Facebook.
Yeah, the user base
Yeah.
is large, but
It's definitely larger.
the demographic.
I think Facebook is becoming more of a news outlet than anything.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
Facebook is more like news, videos.
Because
Just
people
random
they don't
stuff.
really
Cat
watch the
videos,
news.
dude,
They'll
all over the
look
place.
on Facebook like,
Like, I don't
It's
go to
raining?
Facebook
Where?
to interact with my friends anymore. That's what Facebook used to be,
That's
right?
what
Let me see what
Snapchat's
my
for
friends
now.
are doing. I go to Facebook, I scroll for a little bit, see if there's any interesting things happening.
Memes.
Who died?
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
his name?
dude.
Who's the football player?
Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez,
yeah.
Committed
Oh, yeah.
suicide. I didn't find out on the news. I found out on
He did?
Facebook.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Committed suicide today.
Hung himself today.
Committed suicide.
You must have
yeah.
not been on Facebook today.
I wasn't. The only thing I put
It was
on,
all
on
over
Instagram,
Facebook.
I mean
It
on
was.
Facebook was
Feeling sad.
it's a photo. But no, that I mean,
You're
I
even
guess
posting his sentimental photos on there. The street has 2 roads, but I'll take the least.
So I gotta plug my man.
Well, I mean, he was acquitted of 2 murders.
Yeah.
Yoni?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
That's me slapping him.
I gotta plug my man. I don't know if y'all have ever watched Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Man, this guy's pretty smart, and
I've never heard
No,
of
wait.
him, bro.
Never heard of him.
he's a millionaire entrepreneur, and he vlogs every day. Puts out a video, 2 maybe 3.
Yeah.
He's constantly on new social media. So like when YouTube started, when it first started, he started a vlog, and he got a huge following for his wine company. Then like he hopped on Twitter when it first started, and made a lot of money off Twitter. And then he's like had his own couple of businesses that have made a lot of money. He's just like a really smart. What's it called when you're forward progressive.
Thinking. Yeah, he's progressive.
Progressive.
Yeah,
It's very progressive. Forward with changing.
Innovative.
And he adapts to everything.
Risk taker. Man, I'm just like this man. Let me intro him. Gary Vaynerchuk. Walking in. No, but he said.
He's like, fund me.
He's real big on social media, like
sponsor me.
using it, taking advantage of it, and so you mentioned like
Well, dude, because I mean, as I said earlier, dude, like social media is such a big medium that you can like get out to like really big crowds.
It's like direct connect.
I mean, like
really
Twitter.
is.
That's usually a direct.
like
thing.
whose parents are on Facebook now?
Everybody.
Your whole family, your grandma has Facebook now, dude. It's freaking insane.
My grandma got a Snapchat
dude.
and added me, and
Whoa.
it's still there.
I haven't.
Do y'all have family members? I don't have it. I limit it.
Snapchat.
Only on Instagram, but that's because I don't post like anything. I don't post anything.
I only have family
regardless.
on Facebook.
I
That's because
have only
I don't
family
post
on
anything on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, I don't post on.
I don't got nothing to hide.
So, are you adding your grandma to Snapchat?
No.
But you got nothing to hide.
It's
But
still
I
there.
still have my
But
mom
no, but
and my
I
tia,
have my mom on Snapchat.
but not grandma. Not grandma.
Come on.
Nothing to hide.
you know,
He doesn't hate you, G-Mom.
but you know that they have. I didn't know they had this feature on Snapchat where you can like choose.
You can block certain people
Yeah.
from seeing your stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know you
Really?
could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called don't add. You just ignore. It's the ignore feature.
Yeah. But
Everyone has it actually.
But like,
Instagram.
so you're saying Facebook is more like news, and Instagram is more product. So what would Twitter be?
Twitter's
Twitter is just.
Twitter's
I don't
phasing
know.
out.
It's fake
Yeah,
news.
Twitter is phasing out.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Is it really? I feel like it's
You know what?
Like it's
I'm
still
gonna give
like
a quick shout out to Black Twitter.
Oh, that
Oh
shit keeps
my
Twitter
God.
alive. That shit.
Black Twitter makes Twitter valuable. Like,
I don't even know what Black Twitter is.
and that's what
And,
I know.
I've heard about it.
What is Black Twitter?
I've heard about it.
It's like Twitter but better.
You need to.
You need to
You just need
expand.
It's like news,
Dude, I don't even
But
have Twitter.
in a twist.
but like every time you hear the news, a black person's telling it, and it's a lot funnier.
Oh, okay.
It's just funny as hell, dude.
I thought it was just like a dark.
It's like okay,
No.
so we're
Twitter.
No.
Literally talking.
Ricky was like black, negative, dark.
okay for clarification.
No,
To
definitely.
clarify,
Like the dark web, but on Twitter.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I was like, what are they?
The deep
Are they
dark
selling
web.
people?
This
Twitter,
Silver
are they
has a
selling
Twitter. Hey
people?
guys, hey, can you
Are
put
they
it up?
selling their like kidneys?
Hey,
Or
I need a liver.
to clarify,
It's like I need a tiger.
you can buy drugs on Black Twitter. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Clarify, we're all
Jacob.
Latinos in here in the podcast,
Yes.
and
What if
I have a feeling you've had one class during like high school or middle school where there was like one black kid in the class.
I went to almost like an all-black middle school. All black.
Dude, my high school.
Okay, well just imagine all of that
All
on
your
Twitter.
friends.
Imagine that on Twitter. Like the reactions, the response.
It's like a normal person. Oh my god, and then like black dude. Holy shit! Oh, and then it's kind of like
That
that.
sounded more. That sounded like white as fuck.
That sounded
I don't know.
Dude, it's
You
like
need to stick to your Spanish broadcast.
That was like en vivo. No.
There you go. You're better at that. You're
Yeah,
better
We'll
at
just
that.
do that.
Yeah, just
We'll
do that.
stick to
Stick with that.
Anyways, that's
Stick
Black
to what
Twitter.
you know.
Okay.
You know what? Twitter messed up, and you know what? And I'll say it again. Gary Vaynerchuk pointed it out to me.
Endorse him, please,
He-
Gary Vaynerchuk. Just do
Even
it.
Endorse
before
us.
he pointed it
Endorse.
out to me, it's the reason I stopped using Twitter. When I was like, I eventually got so many followers, like not so many followers, but I followed so many people
Right.
that when I would scroll through Twitter, I'd be like, God, this is like, it's too much.
Yeah.
Endless.
Oversaturation.
Like if I'm not on Twitter constantly, I miss so much, and then when I go through, it's like, God, I gotta let it catch up. So I just like stopped using Twitter.
Well, how many characters is it?
no, it's 140
But it's
characters.
just how
many
many
people
people
tweet.
use it.
And people retweet.
Yep.
I'll just go through Twitter real quick and retweet like 6 things. And And imagine if all 500 of you users retweeted 5 or 6 things. Like you're getting thousands.
2,500.
Dude, imagine. Like, I've had that same thought.
Let me just.
He did the math.
The people I've seen with like a crap load of followers is like on Instagram,
According to
where it's like they've got like
Einstein, E
2,000
equals
followers. I'm like, how do you see?
Well, okay, so this is the thing with Instagram. It started to get like that, but there were Instagram came up with an algorithm that like filtered out. It filtered out.
Can we just talk about how?
Wait,
Can we just wait?
Pause.
Talk about the
Time
elephant
out.
in the room.
Wait a minute. Y'all thought we were finished, but
That
Yoni is
group
currently-
just swished.
Joni is currently in a predicament. And by predicament, he can't use one of his right leg.
So this man rolled his ankle and he's in a boot, right? He's in a walking boot. We're all in here. We're talking, trying to keep
and
this
then all of a
conversation
sudden this
going.
man sounds like he has hydraulics in his
And then-
freaking boots.
I'll send you to like a hiss. And we're like,
Somebody's tire got popped.
I was like, damn.
Exhale.
I was like, damn, Johnny, that's the longest fart you've had. He's silent the whole time. I was like,
He looked at everybody too.
we had eye contact.
He's like,
who's gonna smell it first, Arturo?
I was trying to do this so loud.
It was the same exact reaction as if you farted. Like, did anybody hear that?
Oh, he just looked at everybody.
You almost paused this podcast because of that.
He looked at bro. He gave that that stare where you look at everybody
like,
but not try to make eye contact. And you're like, fuck.
Can we talk about what is the purpose of
Okay,
releasing
so
the
that's
air?
supposed to compress your leg, rice, rest, ice, compress, elevate.
I don't know
You
what
never heard
that
that?
is. I think that's all lie. It's
you
a
know,
bit
like
off.
if you get hurt, you kind of like you squeeze it, compress.
Like you're
compress.
bleeding out.
Yeah.
They give.
Okay, but
All I
you
do is
let
vapor.
air out. So you're
Yeah, because they got
decompressing.
uncomfortable, right?
Okay,
Yeah, I was
okay.
decompressing.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I mean, if you hold something too much,
Oh,
it
yeah,
starts
yeah.
to hurt. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you put air back in?
Wait, can you do that
again?
For those because no one can see.
Can you do that next
He
to the
just
microphone?
fingered-
Yeah, do the next
He
one.
just fingered his
Please
boot.
put your foot up
Get your
here.
leg up. Get your leg up.
Hold on, let me bring this down.
Hold on.
He just fingered his boots, guys.
There was a little air pump in there.
He's lying. He
It's
just
a-
Hey, it's
fingered.
like
action.
what was that shoe? The Air Maxes? No, it wasn't the Air Maxes. The
No,
Reebok pumps.
Reebok
The Reebok
pumps.
yeah. The Reebok pumps.
Where you
Pretty
pump your
I had
tongue.
those.
Did those do anything? Or
I don't think so.
It was just. I don't know.
It was just the bubble.
Yeah, it was just the bubble that you popped that looked cool.
It didn't. You didn't pop. You just.
No, yeah, you didn't pop it. You
You
just
just
like
kept
kept on pressing
deflating
down.
it, and it kept inflating.
Yeah.
You could play that game forever.
And they kind of faded out though. They died out.
Yoni works in an office also, and I like hear. Yoni, what are you doing? Oh, I'm pumping up my boot.
Pumping up my
Working
boot.
at school, man.
He said he's wearing his boot just in case if anybody wants to get dunked on.
Hey, man, what's the second topic, man? I feel like we ran this first topic.
Yeah.
Well, you did mention that we're Latinos.
Yeah, the second topic was basically like Latinos, how that background has shaped you, or shaped you specifically like in the current climate.
I mean, I ate a lot of beans.
Right.
Right. That's like every
So now
meal.
he's shaped like a bean.
It's like
That's how it has shaped me.
he's like Dos Equis is life. Dos Equis and Dos.
No.
Mexican jumping
No.
bean.
Have you seen those? The Mexican jumping man?
In the cartoons?
No, there's actually.
No, yeah, I've seen them.
Actually, is it really?
Do they really have?
Yeah, they really have them.
Yeah, they move around.
What the-
Oh, okay. So here's what we were talking about this. Y'all heard the first Dreamer, the first DACA
Got
student,
deported.
he got deported.
The first, like the actual first
No, not
person
the
ever
first.
gotten.
No, like the
Okay, but just
the DACA.
he's the first
DACA
one
student.
to ever
be
get
The
deported.
first
deported.
dreamer to get deported.
Right.
Do we know the backstory behind this? I mean, you can't just throw that bomb out there.
Well, from what I read is that he was out with his girlfriend eating, and he was outside, and this officer approached him and asked him.
Where was this?
in California?
Okay.
And approached him and asked him, about his legal status. So first of all, he racially profiled him already. The guy's like, "Oh, I don't have my wallet. I actually left it at home. She's driving. Blah blah blah." Well, he's like, "You're coming with me." So within the time span of when he asked him about his papers, pretty much like they do in Arizona, they deported him within 3 hours
3 hours.
back
Wow.
home.
Yeah, Mexico's not that far from Cali.
Aside from the fact
Not
that
But the procedures.
there's no, I feel like there's definitely procedures in place to actually getting them into a court of law. Even if they weren't U.S. citizens.
Well, I mean,
they still
even
have
if
a
they are
process.
U.S. citizens,
I
they're
don't
still
understand, like-
protected. They still have like rights.
There's such things as unalienable rights, but that doesn't count anymore apparently.
What doesn't count?
Unalienable rights.
But I mean, okay, I feel like they should have at least a little bit more of a sophisticated process of like, okay, what's your name? They can look up this person's name and be like, okay, he's legally capable of being here. You'd feel like ICE is kind of up there to have that type of technology.
It's sort of like your police officer, right?
But
Your
I
police
mean,
officer
it
can
all-
run your plates. They should be able to run your name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, you could give a fake name,
but then
but
like, you know, law enforcement is like any other job. You know, you have your guys that go by the books, you have your guys that kind of like wing it, and then you have your guys that just don't give a shit.
But that's,
Are dicks.
I feel like that could be like one bad apple, but this had to be like a group of people
group
who
of
like
bad apples.
immediately like, okay, we're gonna deport you, and then like immediately put
Like
him
it
on
wasn't
a
the
bus.
guy who pulled him up, like and was like, "Hey, where's your ID?" And it's not like that guy
It was
put him in the car and drove him across the border. Like
Yeah.
it was more than one person. It was levels to it.
Yeah, there's the.
No one
apparently,
stopped to think.
apparently, I don't know, pass through all the 3 levels in 3 hours. Or I don't know how many levels there are.
Right? But I mean, they even have fingerprint scanning whenever you do these DACA type of things.
Oh,
so,
yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah, 'cause
it's
we've
like
done the
how
clinics.
can you, like, say, oh, you have no identification, so we're just gonna deport you because we don't even know if you're illegally here. You have the capabilities to find this person's fingerprints. I would assume in the system somewhere because that's probably the reason they do it in the
At
first
jail.
place.
But
You send
my
him to
question:
jail.
did DACA ever pass?
Okay, DACA, it's not a law,
Mhm.
but it is an order from Barack Obama that's still in place.
And it prevents you from being deported.
It-
That
it's-
is one of
DACA
the-
stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, meaning you had to come to the country before the age of 16, or 2000.
Yeah, there's a certain cutoff date with
Yeah,
it too.
when Ricky and I have done the DACA clinics, like where we help these people actually receive DACA status. You go through a lot of paperwork, and what it actually grants you is legal stay here in the United States. Also,
legally capable of working.
yeah,
in the
it
United
gives you a
States.
work permit. So you're in the system whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is true. It's like for me, from my point of view, is that someone could have taken their time, 5 minutes at most, looked him up, and been like, oh no, he's supposed to be here.
At least
Or
he's
allowed
to be here.
To be here.
But
yeah.
no one did that, so they just deported him like that.
I feel like people in ICE, like you don't get that job just because like that's your, like the job you want to have.
Your
right?
calling or anything.
That's not your. Well, it might be your calling, right? You know. You
Yeah,
might
well, I
have
mean, 'cause
something
most-
that, but I think there's some sort of like ideological, push towards that. Like, hey, when I want to protect the border, or I think people that are here that shouldn't be here, and then that's why I work there. So then whenever I catch somebody that I think might not supposed to be, might not, have the right to be here or be able to be here, then I'll just go and make it as quick process as possible to just get them out. And then that just compiles itself when you have like all the different levels of ICE or all the different levels of the same immigration system. They're just like, hey, we think the same way, we believe the same thing, so we'll all work together and just get this person
I
out.
feel like this story is so new to being developed. I can't even imagine how they're gonna fight.
What was just published yesterday?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying because I saw it on the news today.
Yeah, I mean,
But I mean-
I saw it, but like I really don't know like both
Yeah.
sides of
This is the
story.
first time.
But
I'm
I'm
hearing this,
curious
yeah.
to see how they're going to fight this because he was legally.
I'd like to
capable
broaden
of staying.
this situation,
But I was
not to just Latinos, but any person who's treated unjustly. Like you've seen like a lot of the Black Lives Matter videos where they someone is treated terribly, unjust and unfairly.
Right.
They're discriminated against. They receive just terrible treatment based on how they look and people's perceptions of them. And they can be totally in the right, like they would have done nothing wrong, and they still receive terrible treatment. And I just think if it were me in a totally unjust situation, I might get shot. I think that's how my story would end. I think I'm very rebellious in nature.
Like getting pulled over by a cop or what?
Yeah, if I got pulled over by a cop and he was treating me like I've seen cops treat people in videos.
You're like, I'm right. You should really listen
would-
to me right now because I'm right. I
No.
should be here or I'm.
No, I would punch a cop in the face.
Okay. Okay.
I
was just saying, like,
Ricky went extreme, and then Jacob was like, "Nah, B."
No, okay, so I watched the video last night of a white couple, right? So this is a white couple, white guy and his wife who was going into labor. Her water broke. She was about to give birth, and they got pulled over by the cops. and they like threw him on the ground. And then his wife got out and was trying to tell him like, hey, look, my pants are wet, my water broke, like I'm about to have a baby. And they made him sit there for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes for the ambulance to get there. And then the ambulance took her, and then they took him to jail for resisting arrest, which he didn't do. You can see him in the video. He's sitting there the whole time. I don't think I would have sat there the whole time. I would have got up, and then if somebody would have like pushed me back down, I'd have thrown a punch at him, an elbow. I'd have kicked him. I'd have did something. Just because I don't think I would have handled the situation as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I hope I'm never in that situation because I might die.
Have you ever had a run-in with a law like that?
Well, let me tell you, one time I almost got kicked out of high school for
okay.
something super small, right? I wore a green shirt, and it was at 7 in the morning. Class didn't start till 9. Why was I there at 7? I was taking an AP biology test my freshman year of high school, right? So this is how good of a kid I was, right? I'm there 2 hours early.
Freshman year.
AP, taking the test 2 hours early, right? I'm a good kid. I'm looking for my seat. The principal points to me. She's like, come here. I was like, yes, ma'am. She says, why are you wearing that shirt? I was like, I don't know. It's a shirt. And she's like, it's inappropriate. And I said, I'm sorry. I didn't think it was inappropriate. Let me tell you what it said. It was a green shirt. It said green shirts are for pimps in white letters. I didn't think anything much of it, right? Like, I thought it was a funny shirt. I didn't think much of it. I had a white shirt underneath, plain white tee. I said, you know what? I got a white shirt I can wear. I'll just take this one off. She's like, yeah, you do that. Right? She's throwing me attitude. I'm a respectable kid.
See,
I was, so I'm walking to my locker, and I take off my shirt, because my white shirt's underneath. And she says, hey, come here.
That one says white shirts are for pimps too.
and I was like, what's up? She's like, give me a shirt. I was like, I was about to put it in my lockers right there. She's like, no, give it to me. And I didn't want to. Let me tell you why.
The green shirt, right?
Because the week before, she had took my football. Before school started, we were in class already. Before the bell rang, we weren't throwing it. She came in, she took it. She never gave it back. And I was like, whoa. And so, and she's asking for my shirt. I'm like, well, hold on. Like, are you going to give it back? And she's like, we don't have time for questions. I was like, look,
okay, she was really looking for trouble. I feel like
questions.
That's... I feel like people like that, dude, like they're looking for trouble.
So I could have gave her my shirt. But I was like, no, I need to know you're going to give it back. Just like, tell me you're going to give it back, I'll give you my shirt. She's like, are you serious? I was like, are you serious? You can't just tell me you're giving... She's like, you want me to go to security? I was like, look, security gives my stuff back every time. You, I don't know.
Oh.
And she,
that was good.
And so she snatched the shirt from my hand. Mind you, I'm like 13, 14. I don't have how old I was back then, right? This is a grown woman trying to like play... And I held on to the shirt. So we were like literally playing tug of war with my shirt. And she's a principal. She should have more sense than this. Than to fight with me. And so we walk downstairs. I give security my shirt. And I'm like, alright, security's got my back. And then they give the shirt to her. And I was like, oh, you messed up. Yeah, but anyway, so it was just for a shirt. I was like, I don't mind giving you the shirt, just not need to give it back. And I feel like that was a very like down here situation, real low. I feel like if it was like major, like my wife's in the house, I would have reacted like way, like just knowing me,
right?
I would have had a worse reaction. I don't know if I would have been able to handle it. I think I would have got shot.
So I gotta ask, did you get your shirt back?
Yeah. So I waited like an hour.
The listeners want.
My parents came. They came from work.
One question.
And my mom's like, "Are you serious? This is what we came for." And then the principal's like, "Yeah." And the principal, this is what she said. I go in the office. She's like, I don't even know you. I was like, well, that's a great way to start this off. I was like, it's because I'm not bad. Like, if I was bad, you would know me. I'm not bad. I got my shirt back. I showed up late for the test.
My question is, what the principal tell your mom, dude? Like, how'd she justify like this whole situation? Because I feel like this is a hard situation to justify.
So the justification was, I'm the authoritative figure. He needs to do what I say, which I call bullshit on.
No, like, dude, because I feel like she was
authority doesn't override stupidity.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It should, right, for your own safety, which is why I say I might get killed one day.
No, but I feel like she was looking.
Do you remember her name?
All right, so then
Miss Javon Wells.
Mrs. Wales.
We got a middle name in here.
I feel like you were looking for.
Javon C. Wells.
I feel like she was looking for like, you know, to somebody to pick on that day. Because really, are you gonna
She's
do
just
all
looking
that?
for something to do.
She was
My
having a
job is
tug of
so
war fight.
insignificant right now.
Yeah, tug of war fight
It's
with
like,
someone.
are you serious?
Yeah.
2
Like,
hours before school
he was
starts.
he's putting the shirt up already. He's gonna put it in his locker.
I'm about to
'Cause
get this kid in trouble.
'cause
I'm offended by
All
your
right,
shit.
authoritative figures, their jobs aren't to escalate situations. Their job is to de-escalate situations.
Right.
So I feel like if if you're doing all that, you're not doing your job.
You're making it
'Cause
worse.
That's law enforcement right there. Law
I'm not a
enforcement.
person who needs de-escalation. I'm a calm person.
It's like
She was just pushing my fucking button.
it's like it's
My
it's
escalation
their
button.
job.
Yeah.
It's their job to de-escalate situations,
Right.
and I don't know because it's crazy. Like,
Right. So like we've been saying, there's always going to be those people that react the wrong way.
I love you, Miss Wells.
There's also there's also
Fuck you though.
those authoritative figures that don't necessarily take the right path to de-escalate a situation, or like cops, for instance, right? They're all nervous about, you might have a weapon, you might be dangerous. They don't know you, just like you don't know them,
yeah.
right? So my question is more like, when you have kids, or when you have if you have somebody younger than you, your little brother, little sister, whatever it is, how would you, being somebody that could be profiled like that, how would you explain how they're supposed to act? Like, what would be your way to explain?
Comply. That'd be my thing.
100% of the time?
Well,
Look, you know what? Sometimes I feel like, what you could do is just pretend they knocked you out. Pretend you get knocked out. Like, guess what? Like, they're not gonna argue with you because you're knocked out.
Ricky, so
And so you're
Jacob's
just
having
gonna,
a tug of war.
play the whole
and he
thing.
knocks
Dude.
out.
Possum?
You're playing
Play possum.
That's a bitch move from a bitch nigga.
No. I'm just saying, you want to get shot?
That's Ricky
Comply.
talking.
I'm just saying, okay,
No,
they throw
I'm
you on the
not
ground.
saying. Like, I'm just saying.
Okay, I
like,
was talking in terms of these, police stuff. Maybe sometimes, just pretend you're dead. And you know what? They're gonna arrest you and put your handcuffs, and then later on you can probably sue them for doing some stupid shit to you.
Because the thing is, like, you've seen, I'm pretty sure everybody here's seen those videos. Like, even if you comply and you're on the ground with your hands behind your back,
Exactly.
they come in and they, like,
Kick you in the face.
they got the people's elbow
Elbow
coming down
on
on
this
you.
bitch.
Like,
Well, alright, random question. What are 3 better words than I love you? That's not it. LHS. Guess those 3 words that are better than I love you.
Better than I
H.
love you?
Let's have sex.
Better than. It's easy. Easy.
Easy.
And,
I'm sorry,
so, Ricky, what are you saying?
Play dead in that situation too.
Hell no, I ain't playing that.
Thank you for participating in the question of the day.
Well,
Randomly throw it out.
I had a kid. He told me that.
You had a kid?
You had a kid?
Wow. Okay.
How old is he?
How old are you?
What do you mean you had one? What happened to him?
What'd you do?
What'd you do to him, huh?
Did you play dead?
Did you mess with him?
So I have a student.
We should say, Yoni, what do you do for a
No,
living?
no. Cannot.
I work for a school.
I work for a school.
That's all you need to say.
So I work for a school. I have a student. He's one of my favorites. Now he's a little
Oh,
fiery.
we can't play
sometimes.
favorites.
It's human nature, man. So he's a little fiery sometimes. He gets in trouble with one of the APs, and he's always telling me that the AP's always combative with him the way he talks to him, and so then he does it to him too, and it just escalates the situation. So you asked, how do you tell a student or a kid, younger brother, anything like that? So what I told him is that just try to be as respectful as you can, despite the situation, despite the environment you're in.
Kill them
because
with kindness.
Kind of, yeah. Because you have to be the bigger person, even though the other person is a bigger person because they're an adult.
The fact that he's an adult and he should know better.
And he should know better, but he's not.
You have
He's
to
young.
follow that up with, like, you might also die still, but this just better.
Oh my god.
No, I'm serious. 'cause
Statistically,
you,
this
yeah,
might
you,
help
you
you
can
better.
play your cards
You can,
perfect
yeah.
and
then-
still
and then
lose.
It's
That's life.
What was,
And
what
it's
was the
crazy.
one guy that had the gun that he was like he told the officer, I have a gun, it's on my right hip, and he was gonna take off a seatbelt, and the officer shot him anyway.
Oh.
And then his girlfriend, his wife, like,
Yeah, they were videotaping
Facebook
it.
Live.
Facebook Live
Yeah.
or something like that.
But that same day there was another situation.
There was like
that
3
happened.
situations.
Right,
At
I'm
the
saying
same
like even if you tell them like, hey,
Yeah.
comply 100%, be respectful. There's always gonna be
Well,
that
that-
chance
I mean,
that something
that's
happens.
happened
play your
with
cards
me.
perfect and still lose.
Look, that's happened
I
with me.
think
That's
that
life.
communication is the issue here. sometimes it's really just like, all right, look, I'm gonna unbuckle myself, or can my girlfriend do it? And then don't move until you do it. All right, I'm not doing it.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
it's,
sometimes
like that.
sometimes.
Yeah, because I mean, the guy, you know, the officer or whatever, you know, he's coming up. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know your intent. You tell him, hey, I have a gun, and then you reach, you know, gun on my right side, and then you reach for that side.
Right.
Like, what?
Like, you should communicate. Look, I'm about to reach over. Is that okay?
Yeah,
And if
just
he
let him
says
know.
no, then fucking
Because I mean,
alright.
it's tense situations, you know. They're stressful. There's stressful situations, and you know, like we're all not magicians. We all can't read each other's minds and stuff like
And
that.
if he says no, you play dead. Like,
You play Possum Ricky. He said my heart.
He's like, don't reach for the gun. Okay.
I mean, you guys know that I was like, I mean, it's happened to me where like I complied with the officer and everything like that, and he still treats
like,
me
oh,
like
that's just
shit.
me.
And he's still like there was one time I was 19, and
How old are you now? For our viewers.
That was a decade ago.
Oh my god.
Just to say,
Okay.
police brutality's been around.
So okay, I'm 26.
Not in the right way.
So,
He's already got gray hairs.
No.
He's
I've
missing
had it
hair.
since I was 5.
Let's talk about Yoni's ball spot in the back.
No, it's not there. It's not there. So anyways, I was 19. I had just come back from
Like Bosley's.
Okay, you're
He said,
right.
get him some
18,
chia.
19 years old. It was my
Sponsored
first,
by Rogaine.
my first spring break.
Dim nachos.
Spring break.
college.
It's my hair.
My only spring break was most of the hair. Look, I swear you can't even tell the difference.
I can cut it and everything.
Okay.
Yoni, this man just literally went through a whole feeling session on his own set of hair. He's like trying to pull himself. No, bro, look, you got your hair.
It's there, man. It's there. Anyway.
He checked first. He was like,
He's like,
It's real.
yeah, check first. He said,
He did the whole pat.
It's there, guys.
It's still there.
It's not going anywhere.
Anyway, so spring break '94, you were saying?
Shut the fuck up.
I was a year old, bro. Alright. So 7 years ago.
2009.
7 and 4 score years ago.
Okay, 8 years ago.
When our founding fathers.
Can Johnny get his story out or not?
His story's gonna start with
Yeah.
when I got off the Mayflower. Go, Yoni.
Like we used
When
to
I still
wear-
had MySpace.
Oh!
That was my story.
Yoni's like, I was cool.
Hey, he was on
Yoni's like, I was on vocal space,
No,
alright?
This man came home every day, opened up AIM, and got
He
on
was on AIM.
Yoni was like, on my side.
Wait, real quick. What was your aim? What was your name?
Oh, it wasn't nothing crazy. It was just J. Roman.
Hey, you wanna know what my first email was?
That's
boring.
And I had like a super embarrassing moment when I realized
One of
this is so
Megan's life?
stupid.
Chivas United '92.
But it was something as stupid as that. It was, God.
You brought it up. You gotta finish it.
Brought it up.
It was. It was.
This is why you're not a
Find out
comedian.
next
This is
week.
why.
He starts laughing before the punchline. Damn, what's the punchline,
I
bro?
went to the store and I was asking. They were like, "Oh, we have like a thing. If you sign up, you just gotta give us your
Breeze is
email."
powering up right now. Like,
It was
The
short
power level.
Mexican, a number 4, life
oh my
at
god.
gmail.com.
Wait, say it
No,
again?
L-Y-F-E.
Short Mexican for life.
For life.
For life.
At you.
For life.
For the question. For like, what went through your? What went through your?
It didn't. Nothing went through
There,
his mind.
nothing went through my mind.
He just said for
And
life.
so, you know,
For life.
it sucked because like whenever they asked me for it, like at the moment, I gave it to them too. I was like, oh, I want it.
Wait, who?
Short
It
Mexican.
was at a store. I forgot which one it was.
Oh, like clothes or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. I was probably, I think it was probably like clothes or I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Short Mexican.
But you know how they like you can sign up for like whatever it is that they have.
I mean,
right?
it looks that way.
rewards.
Like,
I mean,
it
He
looks like
didn't
you're gonna be
lie,
short
though.
for life. Like,
You just
I mean, to be
didn't-
fair,
he didn't lie though. I mean,
yeah.
Sure.
But dude, man, that name, that email, I don't even know what happened to it. I just stopped using it completely.
alright, guys. Yeah, no.
Wait. So for the viewer's purpose, you're like 4'9", 4'11". No,
I'm like 210. No.
Alright, guys. Yeah, and on that note, thanks for listening. This was the first one. There's definitely gonna be other ones, and hopefully they're not as crazy as this.
It may be with the same people, it may be with new additions.
We might
Yeah.
stick to the topic.
We might actually stick to the topic. But thanks for listening.
Hot pocket.
Papi!
When you know he's hungry.
Hot Papi.